like bad kids. Everyone thought we were like real, like disrespectful and always in trouble. And then we just like turned around 180 degrees, and now we're like real respectful and we're good in class.
We started as a wild group of kids that didn't really get good grades, that we didn't pay attention to her then. We started getting better and better, and we like her a lot now.
In this class, I had an F and now I have a B.
I had a 12%, which is like below F, and then right now I have an A.
We started calling ourselves freedom writers because we just started doing better work than what we used to.
We were talking about how great they were doing, and it was just really positive, really good stuff in class. And I think it was at that time that someone said, "Hey, we're your freedom writers."
We're the Garcia freedom writers. Julie Dewey.
At the beginning of the year, like, nobody really had any respect for anybody.
We're not talking about a teacher here that ever would have been flagged as someone who needed any assistance whatsoever. She came in as a natural, always had positive, always happy to help kids, always there, never had a complaint about anything, and this was just one of those weird things that happen once in a while in scheduling where you get every kid under the sun that cannot get along with each other in one class.
We struggled a lot, or a lot of personality clashes. I did not know how to like just disconnect, and I would continually engage with students and do the whole back and forth thing. I would try to be up in front of the class, and I felt like I was talking to an empty room. I really felt like no one wanted to be here, and I got to the point where I didn't even want to be here.
She like, if you do something wrong, she like automatically kick you out.
I think that the worst thing that I did was I was horribly sarcastic with them. And I learned through some of the Fred Jones training and workshops that by doing that, it's just another form, it's the 15-year-old form of disrespect when it comes from an adult, rather than, you know, trying to relate to them. I was really, in a sense, putting them down and being disrespectful in a way that I really didn't understand before Fred Jones training. And I really had a plan for my second period class. I knew the first two people that I was going to get rid of.
I would just sit here, and then she would already have the pass ready for me.
It made me feel like bad, like I was like a no one.
And then she went to that Fred Jones.
She just completely changed, literally changed. Like, her appearance also, it looked like every time she came to work, she had a smile on her face, and that motivated us to also be a better student, have more fun here. And it wasn't really at school now, it was more like at adventure with every student now.
When she came back from the Fred Jones training, I noticed that she was more calm. She didn't stoop down to our level and get in an argument with us.
I've given you my number 1. You're going to do 2, 3, and 4 on your own. And then you're going to talk about it with your partner. But
she explained things more. She moved the desk around into groups so that we could all work together. If we didn't understand something, we could help each other out. And she was just a better teacher.
Well, since she came back, she started making like games, and we started like liking the games, and we just like we got more communication with each other, and we just like talk to each other now. We used to hardly even talk or know each other's name, but now we do.
That's England. Fine. England is right.
Here's one. Go!
Yay, go!
I think it's a good learning tool because you're learning and you're doing something fun at the same time.
I noticed that instead of just putting something on the board and telling us, you know, do this, you know, there was no explanation. But whenever she came back from the Fred Jones training, I noticed that she had everything in steps and also had like little things to explain like how we had how the work should have been done, and you know, it helped us more.
It was a slow progress, but definitely it was positive, and there was a lot of okay, we're still doing this, but guess what? You know, everyone has their work turned in this week. Or guess what? Everyone was in their desk by the time the tardy bell rang.
Millie Edsberg came into my office and said, Fred Jones, we've got to do Fred Jones. And I had heard about how great Fred Jones training has been off and on through, you know, for many years. And I said, that's great, wonderful. So we got Millie and Jose Velasquez and Paul Ezel, 3 of our teachers, to go to the Sacramento training, and then came back and started training our teachers.
Jose and Paul and I just sat down and figured out the best, tried to stay as faithful to what Jolynn and Fred wanted as we possibly could. We offered an after-school hour and a half, you know, weekly. We offered a 4-day pull-out where they would basically do 3 sections at a time.
And not just teachers. We've had counselors go through the training, our librarian, our library clerk. So it's reaching out outside of the classroom.
My kids like the idea of being my freedom riders, and you know, in no way at all am I knocking Miss Gruel, the teacher that the film is based on. But she sacrificed so much. By the end of the film, by the end of the movie, and it's a true story, she was divorced. You know, she sacrificed so much of her personal time, so much of her personal life, that it really put other aspects of her life in jeopardy. I'm happy to say my husband and I don't fight because I'm grading papers instead of sitting at the dinner table with the family.
We all want to be successful. How do you do it? You give people the tools they need to be successful. And Tools for Teaching does just that.
The reality is sometimes we need it and we don't even really want it, which is really where I was. I thought I kind of got bits and pieces of this and that, and I'm okay. I have too much work, but in reality, even the best teacher, even a seasoned veteran teacher, and I know I'm just a tiny little baby in the teaching world. I only have, will be my 2nd year that I'm completing in a couple weeks. I can't imagine teaching without it. I can't. It's just very practical, totally user-friendly, not at all, massive overhaul, just really gradual things that you start to feel like, I could breathe and I'm not pulling my hair out.
Teachers need to be happy to come to school, feel they're teaching in a safe environment. Kids need to feel like they're safe at school and that the teachers care about them. And learning is more fun, and they're definitely having more fun learning since Fred Jones has come to life at Granite Hills High School.
And never, leave the end of a school year feeling like you still hate that Esmeralda and that Larry, because that's really where I was going.
I don't see Miss Garcia as my teacher. I see her as a friend. Like, I don't trust any other teacher like I trust her.
Somebody with all these great ideas and all this insight really knew what was going on in my classroom.